안녕하세요. We'll get started doing this workbook that I created. So if you go to my link tree, you can find the Learn Hangul Basics. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to change my setup here. 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. So today we're going to use this ebook that I put together, Learn Hangul. I'm thinking it'll take us 5 days to go through the whole thing. And I believe today it'll be just day 1. And we'll focus on Hangul. Hangul means the Korean alphabet. All right. So if you can go to my link tree and then get the ebook. It's going to say Hangul. Okay, so let me change. All right, so today we're going to learn Hangul basic vowels and consonants. So we're going to start with a little bit of history. So Hangul means Korean alphabet. And I know some of you, it's your first time learning. Some of you already know this, but Hangul means Korean alphabet. There are how many basic vowels? How many basic vowels and how many consonants? If you said 10, that's right. 10 basic vowels. Oops. So I'm going to use the blue color to write in the blanks. And how many consonants are there? That's right, there are 14 basic consonants. Hangul, again, which means Korean alphabet, Hangul was created by King Sejong the Great in the year 1443, and it's also the only writing system where the history of its creation is known. So that makes Hangul very special. We don't really know how the English alphabet was created, but we know that Hangul was created by this king. And who already knows about this history? Kind of the basics. Good. So how do you say his name in Korean? You say 세종대왕. 세종대왕. So I recommend you also practice some writing today as you follow along. Let's practice writing 세종대왕 for those of you who already know a lot of Hangul. So we have the 시옷 sound followed by 에. We're going to use this 에. 세, j, o, ung at the bottom, 세종, 세종, d, 에, 세종대, 왕. 왕 means king. 왕 means king. 감사합니다 for all your hearts. 대 means great or big. 왕 means king. So Sejong is his name. And you might have seen this image before. This is the 훈민정음. It's the manuscript that introduced Hangul. And what do you notice about it? What are some things that you notice about 훈민정음? Feel free to write in the chat. 네, 안녕하세요. 네, if you noticed, there are Chinese characters. You are correct. Like these, right? Yes, you notice these dots. Some of these dots, right? So, good job for noticing that. First of all, the dots. They used to be a part of Hangul, part of the Korean alphabet. But it is no longer the case. So Hangul also changed after a while. As time passes, that's kind of the characteristics of languages. Whether it's spoken or written, there's a tendency for it to change. So we no longer see something that looks like this. Double, that's like a double iing, right? We don't see that anymore. TT, great job. Is it read right to left? So you noticed it's written vertically, right? Very good. So that's how Korea used to write it long time ago as well. And you actually would read it from the left side. Whoops. Whoa. from the left side, sorry, from the right side to the left. Yes. Some of you might know Japanese books. They're still written in this manner, right? Vertically and then from right to left. I don't think all books are like that, but there are still a lot of books like that. And the last thing about these Chinese characters. So, any guess why there would be Chinese characters when this is about introducing the Korean alphabet? 네, so right, they adapted the Chinese characters. Yes, good job, Emily. So Korea, they spoke Korean. Korean language existed. Koreans spoke, they talked in Korean, right? Okay, so don't get confused. Koreans talked in Korean, but there were no alphabet yet. There's no letters yet. So they used Chinese characters. It's kind of like we speak English, but there's no alphabet, so we use like, I don't know, like the Arabic script or something. It's very difficult to try to fit in these already existing characters in a different language into your language, right? So imagine it was not easy for Koreans to learn the Chinese characters. If it's not easy, then who do you think probably knew how to read and write in Korea before Hangul was made? If Chinese characters were not easy for Koreans to learn. There you go, Courtney. Rich people. Why? Because they have money. They can pay for education. The nobles, the scholars. Right, good, Rachel. Yes. So the poor people, like the peasants, the farmers, they did not know how to read and write. Then what happens? The society, would it be equal? Would it be, convenient for those of the common people? Not really, right? So that is why King Sejong the Great is regarded as a great king. Even back in the day when usually, if you look at history, like world history, there's always like monarchs, kings ruling, and they're kind of, they're really they're really greedy, right? They want power and more power. But the King Sejong here, he was very understanding of the needs of his citizens. So he wanted to create a whole new writing system that really fits the Korean spoken language. So that's why Hangul, for that reason too, historical reason, is just a very interesting, really fascinating history to learn about it. So feel free to share in the chat if you know any other facts about Hangul. But that was brief history about it. If you want to know more in detail, these are just excerpts from various sources. So they're basically, this one is from the Sejong Center, this is from Britannica, this is from ICANN, like a teacher's resource, and this is from the Encyclopedia of Korean Culture. So these are just different ways that King Sejong is introduced. And if you're more of an advanced speaker or advanced learner of Korean at this point, you probably might want to go with number 4 to practice. So once again, today's live is all about focusing on the Korean alphabet. I know some of you are more advanced, so today's lesson you probably don't need. But if you are learning Korean, you wanted to learn Korean, you never got the chance, today would be day 1 out of day 5 of learning the Korean alphabet. So, vowels. There are 10 vowels in Korean. So let's go over them. A, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, 유, 으, 이. Okay? And then how do you write them? You usually write left to right and top to bottom. What do I mean by that? So for a, you're going to start from top. Oops. Let me do that again. So top to bottom, And you're going left to right. So left to right. Okay, let's try that again. Top to bottom, left to right. Top to bottom, left to right. That's ah. Ah. Next one. Top to bottom, left to right, left to right. Ya. Once again, top to bottom, left to right, left to right. Ya. This time I'll keep what I wrote. Ah. Hold on, I'm going to change the font size. Ah. Ya. Now the next one, you want to do left to right and then top to bottom. Left to right and then top to bottom. Get in the habit of writing this way. Many people write it like this. You want to get the foundations really strong. So you want to start from left to right, top to bottom. This is all. All. Then the next one, same thing. Left to right, top to bottom. Yo. Yo. This time, 오. You go top to bottom and then left to right. And this horizontal line is a little bit longer. It should technically be a little bit longer than how long the vertical line is. That's 오. Next one, top to bottom, left to right. Yo. Yo. Next one, 우. Left to right, top to bottom. And this is also kind of like top to bottom, right? Whatever is more top, you're starting with that one. So the horizontal is more top. So you're starting with the horizontal line. Okay? Let me erase that and try again. Left to right, top to bottom. Next one, same thing, pattern, left to right, top to bottom, top to bottom. We just have two more. 으, 으, 으. And then E. E. E probably is the easiest, right? It's just easy vowel E. Okay? So once again, we have 아, 야, 어, 여, 오, 요, 우, 유, 으, E. Any questions about vowels? Let me pause here. Any questions about vowels? This makes you want to cry? Why? Why, Diego? Why? 왜 울고 싶어? 왜 울고 싶지? 궁금해. Oh, language is so hard, but it's necessary. Oh, well, yeah, like you feel like you want to cry because it's kind of frustrating. Is that what you're saying? Well, hang in there, my friend. I am glad you can even attempt to learn this. Okay, so to show you, you're welcome. So Emily, how do you know when to pronounce or Okay, so here you're talking about or. So this actually is just for the convenience of learners. Some people don't understand this EO. That's why it's written. There should not be, this is basically the same sound. This English part. It's just saying it's all. Okay. All right, I'm going to prepare something written so I can practice with you. So please practice trying to write them and then keep the questions coming. All right, let's see. 언니. How do you pronounce the second to last one? This one, 으. Oh, thank you, Diego. I loved your Lisa video. Thank you. Yes. So the second to last one is 으. And then let's see, I'm scrolling up. Oh, okay. So Didi, you're learning the vowels now. That's perfect. Are there single syllable words that go for each vowel? You can. There are some words that are just one single syllable that uses just one of these. So yes. Okay. So it looks like there are some people that want to know how to pronounce. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is actually, let me flip camera and then hello, 안녕하세요. Okay, so I'm going to write the vowel here and then let's practice the sounds, okay? So the second to last vowel, right? Just Can you try it? Look at a mirror, look at yourself. E, just easy vowel, E. Any questions? Michelle, when learning the alphabet, should I take a paid class or should I learn it online? It's really up to you. I think when it comes to pronunciation, you probably want someone live to look at you and give you feedback, right? So for that reason, you probably want an actual teacher, even if it's online, someone that can give you feedback on your learning. Or if you like have friends, just really ask them real quick maybe. Yes, I'm glad you're sharing this with your mom. 안녕하세요, Patrick Hong from like last year? Patrick, yeah? Okay. Someone described this as like you're getting punched in the stomach, like It's not a good feeling, but it's not a feeling that I can relate. But if you think that helps. So let's try using it with a consonant. So sorry, this is mirrored, right? Okay, that's not gonna be a good consonant. How about this? What sound does that make? Good, Danielle, M sound, right? So this is moo, moo, moo. Good. Moo. Emmanuel, I don't go live every day, but this week I have more time. I'm actually on spring break, so maybe I will. I will just write on my little profile thingy on TikTok if I can make it. But I'm thinking I'll do this Hangul series for 5 days. I don't know if it's going to be 5 straight days. So, moo. Does that answer your question about the vowel? Okay, the next vowel that always is difficult for learners is the third one. But is this going to be mirrored? Is this confusing? What does that say to you? What does that say? That's huh? Okay, then let's go this way. What's this? 네, okay, good. So, oh. That's the third vowel. Oh. So this is difficult when compared to this. What's this? Oh. Yeah, your lips are really rounded. If you're learning for the first time, I want you to look at yourself. Look at your mouth. This is similar to mine. Oh. 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 Did that help? Does that help? Oh. Oh. Okay. Good. I'm glad I'm seeing yeses. Okay, how about this then? Ooh. 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 Good. Your lips? Ooh, really protruding. Ooh. Ooh. Possible to be fluent in 2 years? Unless you live in Korea, maybe you have really super, super close friends, or you live with Koreans, or you date someone who's Korean, so you have to you're forced to speak it. 2 years is very short to become profound in a language. Hate to break it to you, but many professionals, they say 7 years. Yeah. 7, even 10 years. So once again, ooh. Yeah, that's what research says. That's what people, who study language learning say. But who knows? Some people pick up language really fast. So be more positive, I would say. I would want you to be more positive. So ooh, right? Ooh. Let's compare. Ooh. O. 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 U. It's okay? U and O mixed up, right? Yeah, you're not alone. O, O, O. U. 네. If you add one more line, it's kind of like adding a Y sound, y sound to the vowel. So, not U, but it'll be good. It's you. Good. 좋아요. All right, any other questions about vowels? I'm going to go back to the ebook. And if you want the ebook link, it's in my link tree. Link tree, is that what it's called? Should certain face expressions make it easier to say the vowels? Possibly. So I always say this one. This one, right? I always say oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. 네, Rachel, you're so good at typing. Good job. You're welcome. 천만에요. And then this one, it's some people, or not some people, if you go boo, you're booing someone. Ooh. Boo. Ooh. Okay. I have a video on this. It's on TikTok, but I would say oh. You say uh-oh in Korean. I mean, in English. Uh-oh. Whoops, uh-oh. 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 네. Uh-oh. This ebook in Linktree, it's the first one, Hangul. Learn Hangul. 네. Yay, I'm glad it helped some of you. I know some of you are more advanced. If you have some tips to share with our new learners, please. Ari Jones, 한국어 조금밖에 못해요. 와, 스펠링 너무 잘하는데요? 잘했어요. All right, let's go back to the ebook. Fighting. Okay, so once again, these are the vowels. And then we have consonants. So I think today we're just going to go up to the consonants, and next time we'll try putting them together. So your goal this week, or your goal tonight, will be try to memorize many of these consonants. All right, so these are the sounds. These English sounds are what's equivalent. So it's g, g, g. Yes, this ebook is free. It's just a Google Doc that I have made for you, or any learners, if you would like. N sound, d, l, m, b, s, ung. So sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it has a ung sound. J, ch, k, t, p, h. Okay. This time let's go over the names of the letters. Yes, Marin, I believe it's going to be similar. I'll always try to write my expected time on that profile little thought bubble thingy. All right, so the names, 기억, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷, 이응. 베네사 감사합니다. 와우. 지읒, 치읒, 키읔, 티읒, 피읍, 히읗. Okay? So hopefully these 14, you can memorize it, and then we would put it together with a vowel. Okay? So today, let's just focus on a few. So let's start with the first consonant. The sound is like g, 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 g. Then if you put that with the vowel, we have ka, ka. Ka means go. Ka, ka. 네. 감사합니다. 감사합니다 for the rose, 장미, ka. Good. If Lady Gaga went to Korea, she would write her name Gaga. 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 네. All right, the next letter we have N sound. N sound. Yeah, Savannah, 가자. 가자 means let's go. N sound. N sound plus na. What's that? Na. Na means like me or I. Na. Na. Good. Diana, how do you say dog? How do you say dog? You can say 개, or you can say 강아지. 강아지 means puppy, technically. But Koreans say the word 강아지 a lot. It sounds cuter than just 개. Maria is asking, do we have to remember the names like 기억? So I would say you don't really have to memorize these letter names, but when would it be useful? It would be useful when maybe you're asking someone, how do you spell it, right? Then you would say like, it starts with 디귿. That's how you would say. That's when the letter names would become handy. And if you notice, these letter names, they're kind of like a pattern. It starts with the actual letter, the letter that it represents, and it ends with the letter that it represents. Do you see the pattern? Starts and ends with the letter that it represents. Starts and ends with the letter that it represents, right? A lady, when transmission started? What's transmission? Okay, let's do a few more letters. Let's do the third one. D, d, d. 디귿. This is how you write it. And then if you put the what does that mean? 다. 다. 다 means all. All. 다 means all. Oh, yeah, maybe that's what the question is. I started this live about 30 minutes ago. So Yeonjun's left toesicles asks, so does the starting and ending with the same letter applies to all words and spellings? No. That's just the letter names. These here, they're just the names of the letters. That's what we're talking about. That's it. Oh, transmission. Now I learned a new, TikTok word, huh? What about Temi asks, what about the letters that are Oh, yes. So those letters, you're talking about the ones for 받침. 받침 means final consonant. We're not going to do final consonants today. That's probably day 3. And the ones that you're talking about, it's like the compound 받침. That's probably more like day 4. You can pronounce the difference between pi읍 and pi읍. Yeah, those are difficult to hear sometimes for learners. Complex vowels, I would say it would be day 2, just briefly, and then day 3 is going to go more into using the complex vowels. Okay, so let's do one more letter just for today. L. That's how you write it. One more time. One more time. L, right? And then what would this be? Ra. ra, ra. Good, la. You don't really roll the R. It's not exactly like L. It's not exactly like R. It's like in the middle. La. I think we also did this last week. We talked about liel and how you pronounce it. And some people thought it was helpful, some people not really. So let's try it. Please tell me that this is mirrored. I'm gonna show my face again because I'm gonna show you this letter card. Okay, so what does that say? Good. So pronunciation wise, ra, 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 ra. It's not la, la, la 아니에요. R, r, no. La, la, la. Oh, Em, I'm glad this is helpful. La, la, la. La, la, la. So if there's more than one, like la, 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 la. I think this too, you should have a mirror in front of you or look at your face. La, 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 la. Is this similar to like Spanish L? Is it? Any Spanish speakers? Would you say this is very close to Spanish L? Yes? Oh, my voice is comforting you. You're singing to sleep? Okay. Whatever helps. Good. Like, you know, loco, muy loco. La. I would say it's the same thing. La, 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 la. Yay, awesome. Great that it's helpful, Jamie. La. Okay. What else? So, ka, the first one. Ka, ka, ka. Here. You should the border. Okay, here. I'm going to write it mirrored. Ah. Sorry, it's so bad. Ka, 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 ka. Not ga, 아니고 ka, ka, ka. Good. I wish I could hear you. I wish I could hear some of you. Okay, next one. Second consonant. This is so easy. Na, 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 na. What's this again? Ka, ka, ka. Na, na, na. Good. And then what's the third one? Ta, ta. Not da, da 말고. Do you hear the slight difference? Da 아니에요. Ta, ta, ta. I tend to kind of stick out my tongue. It might be just me, my tendency. You don't have to do it. Ta, ta, ta. But I would say more of the surface of your tongue is touching the top of your mouth. We're getting super technical here, right? But some people really want to know what it is like. So, ta, ta. Instead of like da, da, 아니고. That's very like Americanized sounding Hangul. Ta, ta, ta. And sometimes Koreans, it sounds like, what's this? This is the T, right? This is the letter. We didn't go over it today because it's the third to last letter. It's later. So this is ta. There's lots of air. Ta, ta. And if I were teaching, and if it's this, I would emphasize it a lot. Ta, ta. Versus the one that it's not like that. 디귿. Right now, we're kind of digressing. This lesson is more like day 4, but the difference. 다, 타, 다, 타, 타, 타. Blue Heart is asking, do you have any recommendations to help with having steady breathing when speaking Korean? Oh, you are super technical. I wonder what made you think of that even. I wonder if you're talking about like, you notice you run out of air faster? Really? Maybe you're just more focused because you're learning this is like your learning language. It's not just naturally it's coming out. I wonder. Longer and higher pitch? Yeah, little bit. So Korean is not a pitch or tonal language at all, but there is this tendency right now I'm emphasizing. So I'm like, 다, 다. I'm a little more calm. 다 versus 타, 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 타. 타 means all. 타 actually means like ride. So let's say you're picking up a friend and you're like, oh, get in the car. You'll say 타, 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 타. Let's say you have like 3 friends and they want to ride from you and you want to say like, oh, you all get in. All get in. Yeah, good, Giselle. 타, 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 타. Do you hear it? You should try it too. As you're listening to me, try it. 타, 타. Savannah, 타, 가자. Good. Good job applying it. 타, 타. Then let's try the opposite way. Let's try 타다, 타다. 타, 다. 타다. 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 Naturally, my pitch is a little higher when I'm doing this one. 타다, 타다, 타다. 타타, 타타, 타다, 타다. It sounds like D now. 타, 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 타. 타, 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 타. 타, 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 다, 다. Is that more confusing? Okay, at this point, I want to say, don't get too hung up on these individual sounds, okay? Don't let this stop you. Don't let this make you feel so like frustrated. Oh my gosh, I want to stop learning Korean. It's when you start to learn words. You're going to learn phrases. You're going to learn, expressions. And then as you hear that being used in actual speech, right? I hope some of you agree. It's just going to click. Eventually, it's going to click. Don't get too hung up or tied down by individual sounds at this point. But what you want to do is memorize the letter sounds, okay? So the easiest way, just to distinguish it, this one is usually associated with D. D. This one is usually associated with T because there's more air. T. I also find it hard reading Korean, even I know Hangul. Okay. Yeah, reading too. As long as you can decode, right? Decoding as in you're like reading it, but you don't know what it means. That's fine. I think you're just getting used to the letters and the combinations of them. So any practice helps. I just wanted to say that for those of you who feel like it's just like the 3rd letter and it's already kind of overwhelming. I hope you don't feel too overwhelmed. And struggle more with this one. L, l, l. L, l, l. Ne. Yeah, you're right. Sweeter the better, yes. This one, more air. Like when you pronounce it, there's gonna be more air that's felt by your hands. I see, it's interesting. So I think that's when maybe if you're a native Spanish speaker, you might do this with the L, like Spanish L, and you make the connection better. But it's not R, it's not R, it's not L, it's just la 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 la. My tongue is like right behind the top of my teeth. La la la, la la la. Or lo lo lo. lo. 네, yes, whisker Somali, yes. You find it easier to hear the sound when it's in a word. I totally agree with you. Yes, Spanish. There are lots of advantages. What if it's at the end instead of the beginning? This one? Still, same thing. So, lal. Maybe it ends with the liel again. Lal. Or nal. Nal means like day. Nal. 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 The word da in Spanish, we say le da. Oh, yeah, le da. Le da. Le da. Le da. Le da. There's a subtle difference, I would say, though. Spanish, da, and then ta. Russian. I think Russian, little bit. Why? Because I know in Russian, there's a lot of consonant clusters, right? Where it's like, I know some Russian phrases. I loved learning it from my roommate, like zlasvuiche, you know? And I think those consonant clusters might come in handy when you're learning the Korean consonant sounds. Because for English learners or native English speakers, some of these consonant clusters, they just sound so different. It's hard for them. 네. I heard Koreans say ne as in day. They'll say both, but there's a reason. No, so that question, we actually talked about it in my last live. Ne is just ne. Ne. This means yes, ne. Oh, Jax, thank you so much for the compliment. Yes. And these feedback help me, so I know what helps learners. So that's awesome. Yeah. So this is just ne. This N sound. N sound. But I think it's because just how Koreans talk. It sometimes sounds more like, it's more nasally sometimes. Like de. Like more like back here. De. Ne. They don't emphasize the ne, de. It's also because there's no one syllable word that's de. This is not a phrase. It's not a word by itself. So there's no way a Korean listener would hear ne and they're like, wait, did you say de or ne, right? There's no reason to get confused. It's ne. It's the answer, yes. So that also might be why Koreans don't put in that effort, like subconsciously, to make it really sound like N sound, because it doesn't matter to them. Yeah, there's no other word that sounds like ne. It's just ne. There's a good video on this too, this sound phenomenon. So I will say, someone mentioned, can you do like the double consonants? That would be, I keep saying like day 2, day 3, whatnot. I'm really not postponing just to like make an excuse, but there are really steps. So today, if you weren't with me this whole time, I think we started about an hour ago. Today, if you're learning for the first time, your goal will be to memorize the 10 vowels and the 14 consonants, all right? So let's just do one last review of what we did today. And then next time, what we're gonna do is talk about compound vowels and then how to put these together to make simple syllables, okay? Yes, I will do my best after this live is done to just post this whole thing, the whole live on TikTok. I also can post it on YouTube. I think YouTube allows longer videos to be posted more easily, so that could be one way I could preserve this for you. So today we went over like basic history about it, learned about King Sejong the Great, learned about 훈민정음, and I just thought that was a very fascinating aspect of Hangul, and I hope you find it really, it's a special language, special writing system. So I'm really glad that you're learning this. Yes, Emily, I'll do my best to post it. So thank you for that feedback. So these are, once again, the vowels. So let's quickly go over it. We have a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e. And red, earlier we did like a long time talking about O versus U. O, U. And then let's go over here. 기억, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷, 이응, 지읒, 치읒, 키읔, 티읒, 피읍, 히읗. And these are the 14 consonants. Yes, these are all available online. If you go to my Linktree link, you will see the first, I think it's the first one. It says Hangul, learning Hangul. If you click that, you'll be taken to a Google document, and that's where you can find it. So my Linktree is under my bio, or you can search Miss Shimmy Shim Shim, and it's the first one. It says Korean with Miss Shim Hangul. That's the one that you want. So hopefully this helps you. Does Hangul have an alphabet song? There actually is not an alphabet song. There are some videos online that try to make an alphabet song, but I don't think it's the best to memorize. But there's a vowel song that I sometimes teach my learners. It's just kind of like the melody is ya, o, yo, u, i. So, and you do that with like moving your hands. So, okay, let's make that the last one. I try to do this live every week, but this week I might do a little bit more frequent because I'm a teacher, but I'm on spring break. And I'm not going anywhere this spring break. So the vowel song, so you're kind of making your arms like it's the lines of the Hangul. Yes, children's songs are very good, right? So again, this is a mirrored situation, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this correct, but you're pretending like your arms, like ya. I have just 1 week. Yo, oyo, uyu. And then is just straight, right? So maybe you can do this. And then I. Okay? So just kind of the melody. Ya, yo, oyo, uyu, I. 네. And Red, you are saying O. O is this one. O. And then U. Bu. O, U. O, U. Okay? Okay, this will be my last question. Your favorite shifter. How do we know when iung is silent? Iung is silent when it begins, when the syllable begins with iung. The syllable begins with it. And then when it ends with the iung, it gets the sound. All right? 네. So, ya, ya, yo, uyu, I. So if that gets stuck in your head, maybe you can be like, oh, which one was it? Ya, yo, o, right? And then you'll be like, oh, it's this one. O. Okay? 네. 받침, we're gonna probably do 받침 on day 3. Yeah. Day 2 is gonna be compound vowels and then putting together to make syllables. And then on the 3rd day, we'll go over 받침. All right, yes, sure. I will publish the song. Let me do one song video then. Yes, similar time every day. Not every day, but probably 3 times this week. I will make my profile little thought bubble, make that announcement on there when the next video will be, or the next live. Yes, all right. So how do you say goodbye in Korean? If we're both leaving? How do you say book in Korean? Check. You say check. So let's say if I can't do tomorrow same time as today, then I'll do the next day. 네. Good, Jamie. 안녕 is good, but if you want to be polite, you should do 안녕히 가세요. Let's both do 가세요 because we're both leaving. 안녕히 가세요 is what you can say. 네, Jax. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요 is what you can say. Good. 안녕히 가세요. 잘 가 is like informal to friends. 잘 가. But if you want to make 잘 가 a little more formal, you just add yo at the end. Say 잘 가요. 잘 가요. It's like go well. 잘 가요. Or 잘 가. Goodbye informally. Or yeah, good. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. Good. 안녕히 가세요. 감사합니다. Good to meet you. 안녕히 가세요.